guys, welcome to Beer Banter Sports Podcast. I'm your host Karthik Gokhale. We have some United fans and a Spurs fan on the crew today. So on my left is Kedar Kerkar. He's a neutral fan. On my right is Mihir Sardesai. He's Man United fan.
Hello.
On bottom left is Ameya Panse. He's a United fan. And
Hi.
and on the bottom right is Aditya Tendulkar. He's a Spurs fan. So as we know that on Sunday there is a big game, Man United versus Spurs. We're doing a match preview. So uh, today on agenda we have some several points. So so we would like to start by doing a combined 11. So what are your thoughts on keeper De Gea versus Lloris?
Just put in De Gea there, and it's like the next.
It sounds like a form is temporary, but the class is permanent. So I would go with Zahaya there. Loris is good, but if you compare DDG with Loris, it will be pretty unfair for his past history. So I would go with Zahaya.
Yeah, so agree that De Gea has been the best goalkeeper in the Premier League in the past 5 years. He has been fantastic, fantastic performances. He's been really unstoppable at the back, but recently his form has not been that good. While Loris, on the other hand, uh, has had a new goalkeeping coach thanks to Mourinho, and you see his errors reducing. But just on the basis of the past record and the past history, I'll go with the Gea too.
If
I
you ask me, I'll stick to Hugo Lloris. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So
It's just De Gea is making so many errors. It's just that I've lost faith in him. Not completely, but I'll definitely pick Lloris over him.
some pretty interesting for a Spurs fan to pick De Gea or Lloris.
The is just on the basis of the past thing. Like I would say that both are equal right now because I mean at the moment slightly I would say Loris is better, but De Gea has the past in his favor. Like we know what a guy is. I mean how good he is at the back. So going, I mean on his day, I mean De Gea is like unbeatable. So probably, I mean I would say De Gea. I mean it's hard for me to accept, but like the AI is slightly better, I would say.
So
Also, I think one more reason to pick Hugo Lloris is that he's quite a good saver of the penalty. And as we know, what is the strength of United, I'll pick Lloris over De Gea. Yeah.
okay, let's just pick the VAR position for later.
Hmm.
So who are you going with right back, Mihir?
Van
Doherty or
Bissaka.
Van Bissaka?
Van Bissaka, best young right back after Trent.
Amir?
Pretty clear option here. Van Bissaka is the one to go for because if you look at Spurs, I just went through the press, but Mourinho said Son is doubtful, but you never know if he comes up. So if he comes up, there should be someone to get a grab of it. So Aaron Van Bissaka straight away.
Aditya?
Yeah. So I'll go with Doherty. I'll go with Doherty because he is very aggressive. He's very pacey. He can go up front. I mean, we saw what he did at Wolves last season, and he's the kind of player. He's a typical Mourinho player. He's a typical Mourinho right back who likes to get ahead. So we expect a lot from Doherty, and I'll go with him because when I mean the defense of United has not been that strong. So I'll say that I personally believe that Doherty is one of the best right backs in the league.
So you fancy Rashford going past Aurier than sorry, so hello?
Yeah, easily. Aurier, yes. Doherty would be tough.
Okay.
Hello, am
So
I audible?
yeah, yes,
Hello.
yes, yes.
Don't you think Doherty is a good defender in a back five and not a back four? Because at Wolves he was in a back five. and like volley heights and
Yeah,
Cody
but the
covered
way
him.
Mourinho plays is like in a back four during the time of attack, the back four structure becomes back three. So that's how he likes to play. I mean, that's how he played in the Olympiacos game last season in the Champions League, and that worked. And Aurier is not that good in an attacking way itself, but still it worked. But with
With
someone like
Reguilon
Doherty,
coming
it
in,
will be really nice.
will
Yeah,
it be
with
back
Regulon, I
three?
mean, they can like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it will be interesting to see how Jose lines it up because Regulon has just played one game. I don't know how it will be. It will be like back four, and then Regulon and Doherty like attacking like the wing backs of Liverpool. I mean, that could be the case, or maybe like one of them can like just sit back and the other can go. So it will be interesting. So let's see how it goes. But at the moment, like it seems as if it will be sort of a back three kind. I mean, the defense will like switch to back three during the times of attack.
But if you look at the past history, so your manager being a manager for past, so if you look at him, every time Mourinho sets up a back four, one fullback will always be in the attacking half and one will be in the defending half. But if you look at Doherty and
Yeah,
Regulon, both are attacking. So what are the thoughts? Like, I
yeah,
didn't get
that's
Aaron Van
yeah.
Bissaka or I like if you consider the
May,
combined 11, one defensive and one attacking. If you set from Mourinho point of view, right?
Hmm.
not so we're not really going with the formations. It's just the positional better player in my opinion. So that's my basis of my opinion for this. But like like you said, like so it will be interesting to see how they line up because it's a new combination. Like maybe Mourinho wants to adapt. He said that there should always be a plan B every team should have, and maybe this is one of the things he's looking at this season.
Well, Mourinho
Yeah,
might put.
probably we are waiting for the Fellaini types plan B against us. Yeah.
First plan is park the
No,
bus
no,
and
no.
inshallah.
We got Hoiberg. We got Hoiberg. So he is 10 times the player Fellaini can be. Uh,
Seriously.
there are plenty of plan Bs right now with the depth in the Tottenham squad right now. So yeah,
Hell, Mourinho might just put in Tanganga at right back.
And park the bus.
Fancy.
eh,
So,
that
Kedar,
no.
Yeah,
That
for
won't happen.
me, at least for me, Aaron Van Bissaka, it's a no-brainer. He has just been the solid defensive right back, and I think that's what Manchester United needs currently, with their other centre backs not being that solid. So that's why Van Bissaka.
at left back we have Shaw versus Davis or Reguilon.
Hmm.
So, Mir,
This is where I concede my first defeat and say Region. Because like Luke Shaw is like not good, but like he is average at both, like defending and attacking. But Region is a good attacking fullback. And like I don't want the Spurs fan to banter me, but always wanted Teles over him.
so Aditya,
Yeah, so we Spurs fans are very excited with Reguilon. I mean, the way he had his debut in the cup game against Chelsea. So we were just fans of him like from right from the moment go. I mean, although he made a mistake in the game early on, maybe because of his inexperience in the Premier League, but he came back very strong. We saw how quick runs he made just to track back and get the ball of some guy, and then he was very quick going up front. He even got an assist. And then when we were like watching the video, so after the last penalty was missed by Mount, so Reguilon was the fastest to like run from the halfway through. And we as Spurs fans, we just like that kind of enthusiasm. We love that guy. So he's very passionate. It's exciting what he brings to the table, and he was also voted the best left back in the La Liga last season. So I'll go with Reguilon.
it's sad that Gareth Bale is not fit because Mourinho might put in Bale at left back.
At left back.
Yeah,
Oh,
His old
and
position.
that joke is going on since eternity now. Like even it was talked about Son. I mean, seriously, even yeah, Son at left back or maybe
It's
Harry
Jose's
Kane at
prime
CDM,
tactic.
so something like that. I mean, nah,
Just put 10 players behind the ball and go for a 1-0 at the end. We faced it for 3 years.
as long as you win, that's good. I would say enough of like you saw in the documentary, like enough of being nice guys.
That
So
documentary
yeah,
made
you need to
Bergwijn
be
look like
intelligent.
Ronaldo.
right.
So, Amaya?
Yeah, it is quite a no-brainer in this case because I have been following Regulon since past season. I've watched Sevilla matches for him. So yeah, because he was quite
Wow.
highly he was quite highly recommended at that time for Madrid, but due to the new signings, he was not getting a chance there. So loan spell was quite a blessing in disguise for him. And actually, I'm pretty envy about Regulon going there because he's the man which we genuinely wanted over Teles. Teles, if even if he's coming, I'm fine, I'm happy. But if you look at the Porto's play, I've even followed Porto. So if you look at Teles playing there, so he's majorly playing as a wing back rather than a full back. So that matters the game more. So it was quite a no-brainer. Regular with is the first preference in the combined one.
Yeah,
Okay.
So
even
just
for
like
me, it's the
just a
same.
small
Sergio Reguilon. I mean, I would love to see him play against a big team like United. He has already proven his worth in the Europa League. So I think it's going to be fascinating to see Reguilon in action. And also one more thing that I guess Aditya mentioned is that he's got some pace. Because when you are putting him up against likes of Greenwood, some young 18, 19-year-old legs, I mean, he's going to just go past like the slow players like Ben Davies and all. So I think pace is a must factor for Tottenham. That is why Sergio Reguilon is my pick also.
Okay. So it's a unanimous then.
skip
I
the
think
center backs.
The United
first
fans
will
better
be
skip the centre backs.
so I
Even
guess
we don't like ours. So yeah.
Deer will not be chosen as he chose to dump. So we'll go to with Alderweireld and another will
No,
be
Maguire and Bai.
Maguire. Bye. Okay. So both United centre backs.
Yes,
So
I
Aditya.
doubt
for
if
me.
I doubt if
Uh,
Alderweireld will start like
Oh
because
yeah,
he
he
played
started
like
in
2 games.
this
Yeah,
qualification, right?
Yeah,
he
exactly.
started against the Europa game and Chelsea as well. So I doubt Alderweireld will be there. Dyer will play for sure. So I'll go
Jose's
with Dyer
fault.
and Maguire. Hmm.
Better not be
yeah, it
sitting
looks
at
But
like
half.
it's like I am helpless.
preferably we would prefer a centre back who will play entire 90 minutes rather than running off the field and coming back on the field. So it's Alderweireld and Maguire for me. I need a pace and a like a commanding fullback centre back for me. So Maguire is the one to putting the balls and Alderweireld is doing the dirty work. Yeah,
But
pretty good.
would not Alderweireld and Maguire in the same defense be a bit slow?
Yeah.
Uh, Considering the age factor, you can question about Alderweireld, but if you see his on-field commitment, I cannot deny that because he is quite good on that. And compared to getting a better partner than Vertonghen, I feel Eric Dyer is not that great as a centre back. Vertonghen was the man to be partnering Toby Alderweireld for this season for Jose to get some silverware.
Yeah, but sadly, what is happening is that I mean they have like passed their prime. So Vertonghen is like plus 30 right now. So is Toby. So it's difficult for these guys to get a contract right now in a top Premier League club. So like yeah, so apparently Jose favors Dyer more than anyone else
Mm.
in the center backs, and we are
Shouted
linked to
it for
Skriniar, but that's a difficult deal right now. So
Where
let's
Yeah,
did
see
even
what
for
Vertonghen
me,
happens.
go?
But
yes, Kedar.
Vertonghen
yeah,
went to
even for me,
Benfica.
I'll pick Eric Dyer as my centre back. It's because Mourinho has put some faith in him, and in the past few matches, he has literally proven it that he's a good centre back. Although his initial position was CDM, but he has been quite decent at the centre back position. And as you said, that we don't know whether Alderweireld will start or not. So that is why I'll pick Eric Dyer. And jokes apart, I'll pick Harry Maguire. Yeah.
Didn't
Hmm.
Dyer give away a penalty in the last minute, last game against Newcastle?
You
Oh,
saw that, right? So there's nothing he can do about it. So entire world was pissed about it. Like apart from Callum Wilson, so I Shearer, Carragher, Gary Neville, everyone had to say something about that incident, and none of them were happy. So the latest I read is that the Premier League clubs are trying to lobby them into changing that rule back to what it was. So let's see how it goes, but probably that will take time. But let's see, man.
That rule
The
stays Bruno
decision
is
was
the Golden
disappointing.
Boot winner.
Yeah.
yeah.
So let's move to midfield. So CDM, Matic or Hoiberg. It should not be
Just
a
ask the three is Bruno, Pogba, and Matic for
Matic.
me.
It's said.
What
Hmm.
about
So
Aditya?
What about yes?
I'll go with Højbjerg. Højbjerg will be there for sure because he has had the most ball recoveries last year in the Premier League. And if you would have seen the Chelsea game, so after Højbjerg came in, our midfield looked stable, our entire play looked stable. So we were more of a team once he was there on the pitch. Mourinho has great faith in him, and he's just 25. He's a leader. So someone like that, I definitely want in my team. So he's one, and Ndombele will start probably because he didn't feature in the game
Yeah.
in the Europa game, and he has like rediscovered himself under Mourinho this season, and so I'll have those two, and I'll probably have one among Matic and Bruno. I mean, so one of those two depending upon whether the squad needs more attack or more defense. So Rodriguez at his prime, he's a leader. He had the most ball recoveries, and Jose was desperate to get him.
But is he
So
world class?
Matic might be an established. Is Matic
Um,
world class?
Matic
Yeah,
isn't world class.
No,
Matic
Matic.
isn't,
Yeah,
but
exactly. So it was like, I mean, those were just rumors. I mean, there is no way you are like banking so much on a 29, 30-year-old. I mean, you won't buy that much. So Højbjerg has I mean, he's still not that glamorous of a player yet, but we have seen what he has done so far in the Premier League. So we trust him a lot. And like, I mean, there used to be a time. I mean, I'm like supporting Tottenham for the last 10 years or something. So there was a time when I told a United fan in 2011 or 12 that Modric is as good as Scholes, and he laughed at me in 2012. He laughed at me, and then he got his transfer to Real Madrid. Then he like won Champions Leagues and all. He became the best player in the world, and now he says to me that you were right. So he is as good, maybe even better. So same with
Did you
Højbjerg.
just
So
say
he
Scholes
is
there?
that good.
exactly.
Did
I
you
said
just say Scholes
Scholes
there?
and Modric.
Because I don't even wish to
Scholes
get
and
onto
Modric.
that
So
argument right now. Scholes is way
Also,
better, right?
it's
also, why did you pick
Ah,
Ndombele over Pogba? Pogba is a World Cup winner. Ndombele is what?
and
And
Ndombele.
Ndombele is also a World Cup winner.
No.
No, he wasn't in the squad.
Oh wait, in that one. Okay.
yeah, yeah, he was pretty young. So Pogba had a youth academy of Man United, and Dombele was like playing for some fourth division team. Pogba had a very controversial transfer to Juventus. He did well. I mean, he is a good player. Not take nothing away from him. Pogba, then he came back to United. I mean, he has always been there at the top. Whereas with Ndombele, it has been a story when he was at the fourth division club. Then somehow he was like cut down from that club. He made it to somewhere someplace else. Then he went to Lyon and then to Tottenham right now for 60 million. So and that move happened after a year after the World Cup, like after the World Cup. Sorry. So it's a
More of a
like
sentimental pick.
Hmm.
yeah, it's a different. I mean, both have had a different journey. So and if you and since uh, Pogba has like been in the squad as well, his performance for United recently have not been that good. I mean, he's good, but I mean, of course, he has the potential
He's still
to
called Pogba.
be
So
consistent.
basically, Ndombele is our costliest transfer, so I have to choose him over Pogba.
What?
No, no, not really. So I don't think Mourinho ever made that kind of thought process. Like, so Mourinho doesn't have that
I
thing.
mean, no,
The
according to
thing which
you,
is lacking
Tottenham. I mean, according to you, it's because
no,
you
no,
are saying that we have invested 60 million in Ndombele. So now that he's available, I must choose
that
him more
was
Pogba.
that was one of the 10 sentences I said. You can't just
I know.
pinpoint that. It's not a factor. It's not the main reason. The main reason is that he is a forward-minded passer. So he is very good with the ball. He's very good going ahead. Um, he love what he brings to the squad. He can like pick out passes left, right. He can like create space easily. So Pogba is good, but he's not that consistent. I mean, he can't have performances like every week. So sometimes
How
he
many good games does Ndombele
releases
have at
something which is
Spurs?
how many?
Zero. Good games? Zero. One.
I guess
Uh,
you meant to ask the
we
question
love
like how
it,
many
but
games does he start,
Mourinho,
right?
Oh.
he's gonna start. He's gonna start.
More like how many
He's
games
gonna
does
start.
he want
He's
to
gonna
start?
assist.
Because he also had that
Oh,
speculation against Mourinho.
But current form, yes, I can say, but still it's like a 60-40 for me. So Pogba is the one.
Pogba any day.
Pogba. Forwards now. So we'll start with the left winger.
Okay.
So Rashford or Bergwijn?
Rashford.
Who?
Rashford or
Son is
Bergwijn?
injured, right?
Mm. Rashford.
Rashford. Kedar? Any?
Yeah, so the club
I'll say
fans are following
Rashford.
the manager, it's clear. Mourinho also preferred Rashford there, so yeah,
Ah.
fine.
Rashford. So Rashford it is.
Rashford.
So yeah, we'll move to the right wing. We have Lucas and Mason Greenwood.
I'll go with Greenwood.
Oh,
Our boy.
Easy.
I was
The golden
expecting
generation
Greenwood.
boy.
Or
When
He's a
Jadon
good
I'll go
Sancho,
with
what
Greenwood.
should I
talent.
say?
He's a really good talent.
yeah, he's too good.
Even I'll go with
With Mora,
Greenwood.
the thing is, see, see, the forward three will completely change if we have Son and Bale fit.
Yeah, I
If
was.
We'll see the Greenwood versus Reguilon tomorrow. Day position we
Exactly.
have obviously Harry Kane and Anthony Martial.
Got to be Kane.
Yeah,
I'm not
please don't
deluded.
debate this.
Kane all day long.
Not this.
There
I
is
also
no debate.
I
Well, I mean, it
also
is obviously Harry Kane for me, but if you guys look at Harry Kane's record against Manchester United, it has not been that great.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
obviously, Harry Kane
Not
has
been
played a few minutes
long
against
there.
Chelsea as well as in this Europa League qualification match. So, what do you think?
Yeah,
but he is Harry
yeah,
Kane, man.
but he has an he has an unbelievable determination to play every game. So when Harry Kane looks at himself, he targets the likes of Messi and Ronaldo. So he has that kind of goals in his mind.
we'll pick Kane in the combined 11, but
50 million down the drain. Tony Martial scores again. So we are going with Tony Martial, not Harry Kane.
All of you.
No,
I
no,
think
just looking
Karthik is
like
just picking Tony because he's in his FPL team.
Aditya, do you think Harry
Yeah, I
Kane
feel
needs to leave Spurs to get a trophy
oh,
if he wants to reach
needs to
Messi,
be.
Ronaldo levels?
The
that's
hat.
harsh.
Mourinho has like has a squad in place that is good enough to compete right now with Gareth Bale around, with Son around, with Lo Celso and Dombele, Reguilon,
Prince?
Doherty, and probably like Vinicius Junior has also been signed.
No, Carlos.
That's a
That
like
was
Juniors.
Carlos
that's a
Vinicius.
Carlos
yeah.
Vinicius.
Carlos
Sorry.
Vinicius from Benfica.
So Carlos Vinicius has been signed, and he seems like a similar player to him, like that kind of a mold, very strong, pacey. So he will make sure after the game, after this week's game, that Harry Kane won't be that tired. Harry Kane will be fresh. Harry Kane will be competing for the spot as well. So like for this week, it's a doubt, but like yeah. And with respect to your question about Harry Kane leaving Tottenham, so I have this feeling that Harry Kane gets his drive from being a part of Tottenham as well. Like, so he's a Tottenham boy, so the feeling of like playing for your boyhood club. And
Excuse
Harry
me.
Kane has all the money in the world from Tottenham, so he has a
Yeah,
very
but like
lucrative contract.
you
But
said, he
and
has
now he has,
Ronaldo and Messi level determination. But to get to that level, you need
yeah,
to get some trophies.
The
And
best
also,
chance of your
yeah,
trophy and the best trophy that you can get in this season is the Europa League. It's
Auditor.
not even you are not even competing in the UCL, and you are saying that he's on Messi and Ronaldo level.
he has time. He has an influential coach. He has probably the top two best coaches in the world right now. He is one of those uh, top two most accomplished coaches in the world right now. He has support of player like a world class player like Gareth Bale, Sonny, and he has a squad built
And
around him. So Levy has like we have the new stadium as well, which is going to give them a lot of revenue, which will be used wisely for transfer, hopefully. But like yeah, so he
He
has
already
all
has six
the
transfers.
good surrounding right now. Yeah, we see
he
the
what's Kane's
kind of
age right
transfers
now?
which we made this season.
Yeah, it makes
What
sense. These transfer make sense.
Kane's age.
27 or
age?
26, I
27,
guess.
27,
27.
27, 27.
And right,
He's
he
at
is
his
in his
prime,
prime
so
right now. So and so far he only has the Audi Cup to show for it.
and the Golden Boot and
Oh,
the captainship of England. He has achieved a bit, but he will get there. I mean, he leads England into the World Cup, so he's almost there. Trophy cabinet, like it will come. It's not going anywhere. And now is the best time more than ever. What's happened in the past is done. We didn't have the financial capability of City or United or other clubs, but we had a wage budget which is half of that of like United and City, like even lesser than half. Like even Arsenal has a 1.5 times budget than Tottenham, but that's changing right now. So there was a rule in Tottenham that you won't be paid above 100,000 k as a wage, but that has like exceeded in the last few years. So slowly the club is like transitioning into a giant. Right now, this year, Tottenham has been rated more valuable than Arsenal. Uh, and like we have signed Bale. That if that doesn't show our ambition, then I don't know what does.
He
So
was
yeah,
playing goals in
everything
Madrid
is in
anyways.
On
place for
loan,
him.
loan.
But it's not like you have a prime Bale. You have
But
stuck with a
we have
30,
we
31-year-old Bale.
It's
Yeah, you have
one
a
to
Bale
add
who
to the
has
trophy
like
cabinet.
2 starts for
who
Real
on his
Madrid in the
day,
last season.
ah,
yeah,
yeah.
who has like who on his day can like destroy any football club in the world, and
But
you can't
I'd rather
deny
play
that. I mean,
golf.
if
So we'll move to the next topic. Mourinho versus Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
uh,
What are your thoughts,
I don't
Neil?
think it's so.
I
Why
think you
did why
just,
did
I think United fans always rate their managers so high. Ole has been in the wheel for like 2 seasons, and Mourinho has been in the wheel for what 2 decades now. So I think it's just too early to compare Mourinho to Ole.
No, I'm
I
not.
agree with that.
I'm not comparing. Like you know, we're not getting it.
so?
Elaborate.
What my
No,
so
it's
my
no, it's
question is
not like
that
comparing, right? It's about the current fixture
Ah,
what we
it's
are
about the
talking
current.
about. So we can put
Okay,
it,
okay, okay.
put the history behind and just look into the fixture, like how it will be one on one, right? So
I guess
from
that
Yeah.
that point of
so
view,
that's
my
that's the most. That's the best thing that Tottenham fan wants. Put the past behind.
see
Oh,
nah, so it's all about. I mean, you can't dwell in the past, right? I mean, what's there? It's done. It's done. It's all about the present
2016.
and the future now.
Nice title race then.
See,
but I think
17 as well. You
when
put the
just
pressure,
talking
but
about
never mind.
Mourinho and Ole, I think both have one thing in common. It's because both of their teams have got off a shaky start in the Premier League, and I think both of them would be quite cautious in this upcoming match. Like nobody wants to lose very badly, and nobody wants to give away goals very cheaply.
that
There's a
point, if you think like Ole will play safe, I don't think so because he is not afraid of losing also. So he might go all out. Like, and comparing the record against top six clubs, I think I can uh, I'll consider Tottenham in that. So against top six, Ole has been pretty good, and we have seen it. There is no question about that. But Mourinho, as on other hand, always tries to play safe against bigger clubs. It has been his always the forte, like to play safe. Like he will go for a counter and go look for a 1-0 victory late in the match, or else he'll go for a goal early and then sit deep and park the bus.
Will be on Ole this year, this time, because he has been at United for like over 2 years now, around 2 years now, and so there will be a pressure on him to win some kind of a trophy this season, or to challenge for the trophy, to challenge for the league. Because at a club like United, a very high performance is expected. The benchmark is very high, and this is the season where you can say that Ole has had enough time now, and he needs to start delivering. So also Tottenham has played like 3 games already since Sunday, so Tottenham will be a sort of a little bit weakened squad, and there will be a pressure on Ole to win. So it's natural that Ole would try to win this, and Jose would try to get a draw or something. So as a Tottenham fan, for this game, I'll be happy with a draw because of what we have been and because of the kind of injuries we have. No Bale and or Son or Carlos Vinicius as well, with a tired squad as well, a bit of tired squad as well. But knowing Jose, he can very well scrap out a win, and I'm hoping for that.
But what are your thoughts on each other's comment in the press? Because it just gives vibes of that Mourinho versus Conte and stuff.
I don't know why Solskjaer is trying to get into a spat with Jose. Like Jose is a trash talker, and he loves that kind of a thing. And I haven't seen Solskjaer before doing this kind of stuff. So I mean, don't do that. Don't do that with Jose. I mean, uh, I used to watch football long ago, like 2004, 5 as well. Uh, Started like way back, and growing up, I used to like open the DNA newspaper, and I used to read on the last page what Ferguson said to Mourinho, and what Mourinho replied to Ferguson. So it was a very good battle of wit. It was really fun. So, and when Mourinho was left Chelsea the first time, Ferguson said that he will be missed, and that kind of a battle of wits was really good. And so, apart from that battle, I don't think anyone has like can be compared to these two in terms of like trash talking or in terms of mind games. Ferguson has beaten Rafa Benitez as well, like badly through the mind games or through trash talking through the media coverage. But only Mourinho has lasted with Ferguson, and I don't think like Solskjaer is that much of a good player of mind games or good trash talker. So I don't see this media attacks benefiting Solskjaer in any form.
I think Ole wants to get rid of his nice man attitude. Because everyone thinks he's such a
Probably.
nice.
Yeah, even Van Persie once criticized him, right, for like not being angry after a draw or after a loss last season. So I don't know but even Roy Keane would hate that kind of an attitude of him.
Don't bring Roy Keane. He's way beyond
Speaking
what
of
he's
Roy
doing right
Keane,
now.
speaking of Roy
He's
Keane,
out of his limits.
speaking of Roy Keane, he said
He's
that
fun though. He's fun.
he said that whenever we beat Tottenham, it's not a big
Lads.
thing, lads. It's only Tottenham.
It's changing. Mourinho is the guy to change it.
Wasn't 2016 your year when you finally won the title and bottled the 2 horses?
No man.
Score predictions. Let's just do score
I
predictions.
think it's just going to be a 1-1 draw. I don't see a real winner out of this game. It's just that because Tottenham are completely tired, and no matter what, I mean, no matter how strong Ole's attacking looks like, but I think even he's going to play safe because against Brighton, they won after the whistle. So I
It
think
was
just
a
after a shaky start, I think it is going to be a play safe game, and it's just going to be 1-1 draw. And I think even Oli should be happy with a draw, if because losing is just not that he can afford right now.
Yes, moving on. Mihir.
I'm going with a 2-0 victory with Mourinho's rivals Pogba and Martial getting on the score sheet and doing the shush celebration in front of him.
So,
Yes,
Amit.
That's like quite optimistic, right?
how optimistic, yeah.
Way
The
too.
main reason was that fixture congestion for Spurs that will affect them. That's
Hmm.
why.
So, moving on, Amaya.
There are two parts. Like if you go into imagination, I'll go for 90th minute penalty with a Bruno scoring that penalty and United winning.
Tell
But
me about it. Tell me about it. Oh my god.
like coming to the
So how
reality,
many?
I'll go with a 2-0 or a 1-0 victory. I'm pretty sure. Victory, I'm looking forward because Ole is going no holds barred because it's no signings are coming. So even if we are losing, it's not up to him or up to the players. It's always up to the board who are not backing. So I'm going for an all-out attack for Ole. Ole going for a 2-0 victory.
Moving on, Aditya.
Okay. Yeah, I feel that Jose is very much well experienced to deal with a situation like this. He knows, I mean, if time comes, he will park the bus. He'll do whatever it takes to seal the draw. He, I mean, I have a feeling that he will line us up for a draw, but you never know. I mean, so I'm expecting minimum a draw from this, and I'm expecting Mourinho to go all defensive out this in this game, and probably a goal on the counter or something is the best we can hope for. So I'll be happy personally with a draw. Anything else is a bonus, and my heart is secretly expecting a win, but the logic says it would probably be a draw.
So, that's about it. We'll end it here. So, yes, please, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.